I've had the Fuji X100vi. I feel like I have to prove it to you at this point because so many people are struggling to find one. But I've had it for a few months now. And the recipes are what I was looking forward to most. And today I'm sharing with you my favorite recipe I have found so far. I'm slowly building towards making my own, but I've never used a Fuji before using this camera, so I had to find some online, and yeah, I found one that I love, and another one that'll be an honorable mention that I think is an essential to the FujiFilm recipe collection. First of all, very quickly, if you don't know what a recipe is, it's a preset that's baked in to the FujiFilm cameras. It's like the #1 thing that FujiFilm is known for. They are really cool, and you can change it in a lot of different ways that you can't in other cameras. For example, this is the only FujiFilm camera that I own. I'm a Canon guy elsewhere, like this is being shot on the R5, and Canon has recipes, which are just presets where, like, if you've changed your photo profile to be like vivid or neutral, those are the recipes, but Fuji allows you to change those in a much larger way. The Fujifilm recipe allows you to lock in things like white balance or how saturated it's going to be, different values that actually adjust the stylistic image and not only the general contrast of the image. It gives you a stylistic look instead of just a starting point. Now, the place that I have found my recipes for the Fuji X100 so far is called FujiWeekly.com. That's the place that has been recommended to me the most, and people that I know have used Fuji used that website. That's where I found this recipe and a lot of other recipes that are on the camera that I'm not a huge fan of, but they have thousands of recipes on there, so you can find any style you're really looking for. Go and check out that website, scroll and scroll and scroll until you can't scroll anymore. If you don't find something you like, you're crazy. And the cool thing about how they divide up the different recipes, it's by each Fuji system, as well as specific rolls of film and film codecs that you might be trying to emulate. Now, my favorite recipe had a few different criterias. Like the one that I was looking for, I wanted to replicate and maybe make a little more filmy the preset that I personally made for my Ricoh GR2. That's my point and shoot everyday camera I was using before I bought this Fuji, and I loved the look of it, but I needed to find something to emulate it. The overall vibe I wanted it to display was nostalgia. With that comes warmth in the photo, which in a weird way, you know, people might not like this. To get that warmth in the photo, you have to lock in the white balance, which gives it its limitations, but I wanted a warm look. I wanted it to be vibrant and colorful, and then since it's a Fujifilm camera, I wanted the film vibes. This is not being used as an everyday camera. This is being used as a camera for me to capture my day-to-day moments, hanging out with my family, friends, all that. Maybe use on a trip, but I wanted nostalgia, warmth, and a good film vibe. The lighting's really changing up in here. I'm trying to figure out this scene. Comment below if you have any pointers on how you think I can change it up. Only problem is I have one light, so I know I need to light up that background, but that'll cost me a little bit of money to buy the light I actually want, so we gotta be patient. I did add the plant and the Lacy hard drives from the last video, making small upgrades. But okay, the moment we've all been waiting for. What is the recipe? Am I ever gonna tell you what it's actually called? Yeah, it's called Bright Kodak, and it is the exact vibe that I was talking about. It's dreamy, it's warm, it's vibrant. Yes, I still find myself importing the JPEGs into Lightroom to add a little more vibrance, maybe even it out a little bit, make it a little brighter, make it a little darker, but nothing more than simple adjustments are ever needed to be made to it. I love this recipe. It's the one I have baked into the camera all the time. Every photo you've seen so far has been from that recipe. So I love it, but it has its pros, it has its cons. Pros, great in sunlight, like full sunlight, blue skies. This goes crazy. Warmth, vibrance, dreamy effect. I also have a Pro Mist filter that I keep on it, which I really like the look of. And the pros is that it's pretty much exactly what I was describing that I was looking for. But it does have a couple of cons that I don't love about it. One, it's not a good low light preset. Whenever it gets dark out, it doesn't look good. It's way too orange because you lock the white balance to being daylight, 5500 Kelvin. Too warm. Everything looks orange, and I just don't really love it once the sun goes down. But if you turn the flash on, it kind of solves that problem where the flash is a warmer light, and so it'll still look nice with the flash if you want that kind of look. But maybe that's not what you're looking for. And also, when it's cloudy outside, it still looks nice, but it's not my favorite thing in the world. This is really a sunshine recipe. It is not meant for darkness or clouds. That's where it falls off mostly. And if you're too lazy to look up the values and everything on FujiWeekly.com, which the link is down below. It's in the description if you want to go read into it, see examples, more examples than I've shown, and see all the values and whatnot. I will also put all of the values on screen right here if you want to totally copy this right here. I'll wait for you. You done? Just pause if you're not done yet. Honorable mention for a recipe. If I could only have 2 recipes on the entire camera, the Fuji X100 allows you to have 7 recipes, which I have 7, but I really use 2. The second recipe is picking up on what this recipe I've been talking about, the bright Kodak recipe, is not very good at. Low light and cloudy days. Those are 2 times where I love black and white. I like it to have at nighttime. Not everybody's a fan of black and white, but you can still fall asleep at night having the peace of mind knowing that you're not married to it. If you're shooting in RAW and in JPEG, you're still going to get a normal basic color profile RAW file, but the JPEG will have the black and white. But that's it. Bright Kodak, black and white, and you're set to go. Send me your photos whenever you use this recipe. I think it'll be really cool to see other people start to get that vibe. If you throw a Pro Mist on it, it's just going to accentuate the nostalgic, dreamy feel even more. And in the meantime, I'll still be shooting a lot on this camera. I love it so far. Making a whole video about some attachments you can use for it. I like it basic, but some people like to just rig this thing out to make it more comfortable or look better. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Subscribe if you're not already, and I appreciate you. Goodbye.